Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen, where we bring Middle Eastern cooking to America. In today's show, I'll be making this amazing vegetable and saffron dish. It's vegetable and saffron tagine. Mint burghul, Almond Clementine Cake, we will start off by making the Almond Clementine Cake. This is a real easy recipe to make. There is no flour in this recipe. We are using ground almonds for this recipe. Before we do anything, I have 5 clementine that I will cook in this boiling water for about maybe 4 to 5 minutes until almost soft. We're using the skin. I washed and dried the clementine, and we'll let them cook for about 4 to 5 minutes until almost soft. Clementines are being cooking for about 7 minutes actually, depending on the size. So they're soft to the touch, but not too soft. So now we will turn the heat off and we will drain all the water, remove them using a slotted spoon, just like this, and we'll transfer them to this bowl. We will let them cool off for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now the clementines are nice and cool. I have greased springform cake pan with some grease, with some oil actually, and I line it with some parchment paper and grease that too, and we set that aside. Now what I would do is I will just cut each clementine in half, and this will go in the bowl of a food processor, the whole thing, the skin and everything. That's what's gonna have all that flavor from the zest, and it's gonna be amazing. To this I will add 1/4 cup of sugar. It's gonna go in the bowl. And 5 large eggs. Crack in the bowl. We will add the eggs into the clementine and sugar mixture. And now we will process everything until nicely pureed. Smells so good. Love using the skin and the whole clementine all together. It's nice and soft and it's almost cooked through. We will process the whole mixture until completely pureed. Let's check and see how it's doing. This looks perfect. Now I will transfer this whole mixture into this glass bowl, just like that. And now to this I will add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1.5 cups of ground almonds. this will be our flour for this cake. It is amazing. This is great for people who are allergic to flour, who don't want to eat a lot of carbs. It's a great cake. We will mix everything nicely until well blended. And now we will pour this whole mixture into our prepared pan. Now, finally, we will sprinkle about half cup of sliced almond on top. And this is gonna be great. Ground almonds, sliced almonds. If you like and love almonds, this will be the great one to have. Now our cake is ready to go in the oven to bake. We'll bake the cake in the oven, 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes, all until set. We'll check on our cake. It's been baking for 38 minutes. I wish you can smell it. It smells amazing. Look how toasted the almonds are. It's beautiful, golden color. We'll set it on the side to cool completely before unmolding the cake. Now we are ready to start our vegetable saffron tagine. For this recipe, first of all, I need to do is I have a cup and a half of warm water here. To this, I will add half teaspoon of saffron and let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. We'll set that on the side. I'm using 2 medium eggplants for this recipe that I already washed and dried. I will cut the stem off from each one of them and just cut it into cubes. Look how beautiful this eggplant is. I like it when the eggplants are like nice and meaty and it's light in color. That's a sign of freshness in this eggplant. So this is a great one to have. And I'll cut it into cubes, just like that, and sprinkle with some salt. And I'll do the same thing for all of them. Sprinkle the eggplant with salt and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. It's gonna drain all the bitterness from the eggplant, so it will be sweet, it will be concentrated, and it will be great for us in this dish. So anytime you're using eggplant, you really have to do this step. You cannot skip it, whether you are sauteing the eggplants or you are deep frying them or roasting the eggplants. You really have to do this step to get rid of all the bitterness from the eggplant. For this recipe also, we are using all these amazing spices. We're using coriander seeds, we're using turmeric, we're using cumin seeds, we're using dried mint, sea salt, black pepper, and this is gonna be amazing. And of course the saffron that we already soaking with warm water. This is gonna be a dish where it's gonna be beautiful spices in it. It's gonna be so aromatic and my whole kitchen is gonna smell wonderful. So before I do anything, I'm heating up my skillet. I will toast 2 teaspoons of coriander seeds and 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. Toasting them, it's gonna release all the flavor in them and they're gonna be more concentrated and it's gonna be great. So we just let them toast for a minute or so, just like that. This is a great way, toasting the spices, it's a great way to release all the flavors and the smell, and it's gonna give the dish more unique flavor in this case. So I like to toast the seeds, the spices always, just for a minute or so. We don't want to burn them, and then they'll become bitter then. So I can already smell them, and that's a sign of having them toasted already. Once you start smelling them and the kitchen smells like these spices, that means they are ready. So we'll turn the heat off, and we will transfer this to, of course, my mortar and pestles. Amazing. Great tool to have in the kitchen. Every Middle Eastern household should have one of these. I remember back home, my mom had it, my grandma had it, every single woman had one of these. Use it for many, many purposes. To grind spices, to even grind some meat, to make different dishes. It's a great tool to have, and they come in different sizes, smaller ones, larger ones, and they are really great. I like using these better than the stones or the marble. So you just want to go and grind them coarsely. I wish you can smell it. All the smell it's released, and my kitchen smells so aromatic, and it's amazing. We'll set these on the side for now. We'll continue preparing our other vegetables that goes on this dish. So for this recipe, I'm using 1 large red onion. You could use 2 small if you don't have a large one. Whatever you have available. I will cut this in half. It's very large onion, so I will just cut it in half and slice it like this. You don't want to dice it up, we just want to slice it. Perfect. Love using red onion. It's sweet, and color is so beautiful too. So this will be great with this dish. We are using 4 cloves of garlic also. Also need 4 to 5 medium, or these are fairly large, so we'll use 5 of them. Potatoes that we will peel and just cut into quarters. Now all our vegetables are chopped and ready to go. For this, I'm using a tagine base dish. I will add 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil and let it heat. Now our oil has been heated. To this, I will add the chopped onions and we'll saute until almost soft. I love using the tagine. Tagine it's a beautiful pot to use for cooking a lot of the traditional Middle Eastern recipes. For this recipe, especially the vegetarian ones where we use a lot of vegetables, tagine is a shallow, round, earth color usually dish, and it's designed to have a lid that a tonsil looks like this, and there is a hole on the tonsil that's gonna let some of the steam to escape, and it cooks in very small amount of liquid for maximum flavor. Love using them. Tagines are the classic dish of North Africa region, such as Morocco, Tunisia, and Algeria. It's used there in so many dishes, vegetarian or meat dishes. You could cook lamb or chicken or even fish using tagines. Onion is almost soft, it's cooking through. Now I will add the garlic to this and we'll just keep sauteing for another minute or so. It's really nice using tagine dish because you cook everything in one pot and you also serve it in the same pot because it looks so beautiful even to serve on the table. So that's what's nice about it. You're only dealing with one dish for the whole meal. Less dishes to do. And now we will add the spices that we toasted and grind, the coriander and the cumin. Smells so good. We'll coat everything, and also we need to add 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder, another great spice, so healthy, so beautiful. 2 teaspoons of dried mint goes in there, and some sea salt, some black pepper just to season. I'll mix everything. Amazing. I wish you can smell my kitchen. It smells so great. Love the aromatic smell of all these spices together. It's an amazing blend of all these spices together. So great. And now to this, I will add the eggplant. We're gonna pat dry the eggplant and add them to the dish. Just like that. Eggplant, it's gonna cook and it's gonna reduce in size. You might think it's too much, but it's actually not. We'll toss everything with the spices. Everything is nicely coated. Now I will add the water and the saffron. We're only using 1.5 cups of liquid, and this is what's nice about the tagine. You're only cooking with very small amount of liquid, and that's why the flavors are so concentrated and it is really delicious. It releases all the flavors from all these vegetables and all these spices, and we're gonna end up with an amazing sauce. We'll put the lid on and we'll let it cook for about 2 minutes. Now we will add the potatoes to our dish and stir gently to coat the potatoes with the spices and with the saffron water. This is gonna be an amazing dish. Can't wait to have some of it. That's what's nice about the Middle Eastern food. It has so many flavors. It's packed with so many herbs and vegetables and spices, and it is really delicious. Healthy and great for many occasions. We will reduce the heat now to medium and we'll let it cook for about 10 minutes. Now we'll check on our vegetables, see how they are doing. Oh, smells so great. It's heavenly. Great. Potatoes is almost soft. The eggplants are cooked through. And the spices and the saffron, it's amazing. Now to this, I will add 1.5 cups of frozen peas. You could use fresh ones. And I will use a small bunch of chopped cilantro. This is going to add even more flavors. It will be great with the mint that we use as a herb and with all these spices. And it's going to add some color and some freshness to this dish. Of course, if you don't like to use cilantro, you could use parsley. Stir. Make sure everything is nicely blended. Look how beautiful. The peas and the cilantro added a beautiful, nice green and freshness to this dish. And this is what's nice about using herbs. Perfect. We'll put the lid back on and we'll let it cook for about 10 more minutes. Let's check on our vegetables. Doing so beautiful. Everything is cooked through. Potatoes are tender and everything gets worked through. It smells so great. Now this is ready. We'll turn the heat off and we'll let this sit to cool off before serving. Great. Now it's time for us to make the mint burghul. It's a great side dish. It will accompany our vegetables very, very well. And it's so healthy and it's so great for you. So I will heat about 2 to 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil in a tagine base and let it heat. Our oil is nice and hot. Now I will add 1 small chopped onion. We'll saute until golden for a minute or so. Onion, it's nice and soft and golden in color. Now to this, I will add 2 cups of burghul that I washed and drained all the water. I'm using medium size burghul. Burghul comes in many sizes depending on what you want to use it for. There is the fine one that it's mostly used for kibbis, or there is a coarser one that is also used to make burghul. I like to use the medium one. It has more flavor. And burghul is very popular in the Middle Eastern cooking. It's a good source of protein and potassium. And it is great with many stews or as a side dish with many dishes. To this, I will add 2 cups of water. Depending on the size of burghul, the coarser it is, the more water you're going to need to add. So you really need to know by trying to figure it out. Once you are using different size, you should know how much water you need. And it all depends on different kinds, the way it's grind, and so you really have to be careful. Always add a little amount of water. If you need more, you can always add more. If you add more water, if you add a lot of water, and then it's going to be smushy, and then there is no way you can take some water out. So I always start with about 2 cups. If you need to add more, maybe 1 cup water to 1 cup burghul. If you need to add more, you can always do that. To this, I will add some salt. And we will bring this whole mixture to a boil. We'll put the lid back on and we'll let it cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. Let's check on our burghul, see how it's doing. It looks so beautiful. Look how beautiful and fluffy. You need to use a fork to fluff it up a little bit so it will not stick, and it looks really good. and it's done. We turn the heat off and we'll let it sit for a few minutes before serving. Love this as a side dish. It's so healthy for you. Great, that's done. Now everything gets nicely done. We will sprinkle some fresh mint on top of the burghul. That's gonna give it more freshness and color, and it's gonna be great. And then some more over the tagine and a little bit more over our serving plate. This is how much time we have for today. In today's show, we made this beautiful vegetarian dish. It's vegetable and saffron tagine. We made mint burghul and almond clementine cake. Thank you so much for coming to my kitchen and enjoy Middle Eastern cooking. We hope to see you next time with more exotic dishes from the Middle East. Welcome to my kitchen.